and there was nothing. There was no chocolate in East Berlin, and I love chocolate. I love bananas. There were no bananas. So I realized that there was something intrinsically wrong in a country where there are no bananas. And that really, to me, was an eye-opening experience. Also, because I was in Vienna, I traveled to what was Czechoslovakia. Bratislava, which now is the capital of Slovakia, is only like 40 kilometers away from Vienna. So I went there on a weekend, on a bicycle. Imagine, I was a college student doing an internship in Vienna, so I had my bicycle, and then I wanted to see Eastern Europe, and Bratislava was very close, and you just drive through next to the, I forget the river, the Danube. You ride just along the Danube from Vienna to Bratislava, 40 kilometers, and then when you get to the border, they search you all over. And I was on a bicycle, only a backpack, and I didn't have anything. And they even checked my underwear. So when people do all this, it's because there is a problem. But the problem, obviously, was on the communist side. And it was really a tragedy. Also, no bananas in Bratislava. No bananas. So, no chocolate. Terrible system. So anyway, this really made me think, and that is why later I went to Georgetown and I learned about free market economics, and later, as I said, I went to the Foundation for Economic Education, and I learned a lot more about all these things. And as he said, then I met him like 10 years ago, and he had this fantastic book that if you have not read it yet, you have to read it. And it is in like 30 languages. How many? 42! I just don't keep track with all the new editions. But I can tell you that there is also a second edition in Spanish. Okay? I read the first one. That's the first one I had. But anyway, so if you don't know this book, you have to read it. And from the Foundation of Economic Education, this is their magazine, The Freeman. Actually, have you read articles from them? Have you read them?
I did one.
No?
Yeah.
Well, even if you don't read his articles here too often, they do have great material. So I highly recommend that. Talking about economic systems, also, it is a good experience to see different countries. And I had the opportunity to go to Cuba about 4 years ago, because Chavez, the so-called president of Venezuela, he says that Cuba is the island of happiness. So I wanted to see this island of happiness.
Oh yeah.
He's from Cuba.
Oh my goodness, from happiness. But how long have you been outside? Were you born in Cuba?
Yes, I raised over there too.
Oh, so when did you, or how did you leave Cuba?
The visa lottery that you play there, the government had that program in the United States. You play the lottery, instead of giving you money, they give you the visa with all your family.
That's awesome.
And my mom was.
How long ago?
11 years ago, they still have the same system.
Okay. Well, in this island of happiness, which is very, very sad today, because Cuba was a relatively modern country in the 1950s. It had a lot of inequality, but that is typical all over Latin America. There is a big disparity between the wealthy and the poor people. Now there is no disparity in Cuba because everybody is poor. But I want to show you something which you might recognize. Do you know what this is?
Yes.
What is this?
That's like a little book that we used to get food.
Yeah, this they have been using for 50 years. This is the rationing food booklet. And I will actually show it around because you have to see this so that you know what really poverty is and what they eat in Cuba. Because they basically only have 15 products they get per month. And I'll read them aloud to you so that you see the tragedy. They have rice, they have beans, they have oil, butter, sugar, tomato, soap for humans, soap for clothes. They have coffee, They have the strong cigarettes. This is very important. Huh? They have not strong, light cigarettes. They have tobacco, and they have matches. And finally, they have pasta dental, toothpaste. Okay, that is what a Cuban gets per month. As you have noticed, there are no eggs, no milk, no bread, no meat. There are special sections for that. If you have less than 6 years, you get some milk. If you are over 6 years, there is no milk in Cuba. There is a section for and meat you get once a month, which might be a dead rat or a dead dog. It really is a tragedy. Yeah? So this is the island of happiness. 50 years rationing food. So I just want to circulate this around so that you see this really what a tragedy Cuba is. I'm saying this because there are countries where communist totalitarian systems are still in power after a long, long time. Another one is North Korea. North Korea is also a complete disaster.